You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lavatory Podcast.
Yo, what's
It's
up?
Isaiah, joined with
Jay Lavelle.
Jay Lavelle. So it was my birthday this past week. Actually, yesterday. Yesterday of filming, the 24th, and turned 28.
28.
Yeah, 28. And it just got me thinking about just getting older because I was up in the mountains with my fiance's family, and I was on an air mattress, and I woke up. My back was like so out of whack. I was breathing on the way, to take a shit in the morning, and everything was just cracking. Just breathing like cracked up the whole vertebrae, and I was like, wow, like if I didn't know I was getting older, today is the day I definitely realized that there's something going on here, some changes happening, and it just got me thinking about being older and the lessons I've learned up until this point, which sounds so stupid, for most people coming when a 28-year-old says it, but I mean, it's just the reality, and it just made me think about, just getting older and where I've been in life, and I'm curious, Josh, about, your life, and you're a little bit ahead, let's say, in age.
Older?
Yeah.
I'm fucking 30. 2 years older than this dude. Man, I would say, looking back, I was like, fuck, bro. I didn't realize how valuable time was. And if I could have that shit back, I'd be running something totally different. Especially seeing how easy sometimes it is for dudes to just put time in and achieve something. It's like, fuck, like if I had started way back when, I'd probably be somewhere different now. And not looking back in a form of regret, but I just feel like that's wisdom. And that's I think it's a form of self-deprecation that I feel like you need as a man. Like be able to no matter what happens, it's my fault, good or bad. I own this shit.
Yeah. What would you want to do differently if you had more time?
Shoot. I had received a scholarship to USC, and I was afraid to go. So I fucked up going to 0 period my senior year. Just because I was like, yo, I ain't never been by myself. So leaving Chicago to go to fucking California, even though I loved it in Cali, and I was like, yeah, I know I'll probably, be fucking around. Even though I say I probably wasn't going to, but it's Cali. I didn't trust myself to survive. And I didn't trust the family that I was around at the time, maybe out here to have my back. Because, when you in college, it's different. When you were away at school, it's like, nigga, you on your own. You in town, but, like, ain't nobody finna drive up to campus just because you only got noodles this week. Like, you got to fucking figure that shit out. I think that would have changed a lot. So I wanted to do film and stuff back then, and so that's why I had planned to go to USC. I kept my grades up. I knew I was like, I know if I play this right, took the extracurriculars I needed to appeal to them, and then I just fumbled the bag.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean that's definitely something I can relate to when it comes to getting older. Just looking back and thinking about how I would have played certain situations differently. Ultimately, like I don't want to say that I regret much, or if anything at all, only because of where I'm at now. I just feel like any little adjustment, I would be, not here, type of thing. And so, yeah, definitely, I would say for me, just appreciating every day as is. Like I was watching this clip the other day, and basically, like this guy was asking this interviewer, if I could give you $10 million today, would you accept it? And obviously the person's like, yeah, duh. Like, why would I not do that? And then he said, okay, if I offered you $10 million today, but the only catch is you won't be alive tomorrow. Like, so you only have today to spend it. Like, would you still accept it? And he's like, well, no, of course not. Why would I do that? And then he said, okay, so then living or the next day is more important than money today, And so that kind of helped shift my perspective recently to know that, like, what's more important is I guess the next breath of life and the next opportunity to try to do something new, or to do the things that I maybe did not have the chance to, or denied myself the chance to. That's probably more accurate saying, in the past. And now today or tomorrow is the opportunity go after it. Any wisdom you want to share with the people out there?
Wisdom. Shoot. I would say it's still a fucking lesson right now. You know, value your mistakes. And you got to see the blessing of failure, you know? Because I would say a lot of my things that I wanted to pursue in the past, they were minute made, you know? Like they were because I saw something and I was like, oh, how can I finesse this? Or how can I position myself to where this outcome can happen? And, you know, anything worth having is you got to work hard for it.
You said they were what? Minute Maid?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Like the
microwave,
juice?
instant gratification.
Oh.
Like it's...
Oh, literally like a minute in the microwave.
Yeah, man, yeah. Like it's quick as hell. Like, because a microwave is quick. A microwave is quick as fuck. You put something in the microwave for 8 minutes, you like, this taking long as fuck. This show is 22 minutes. This shit is halfway done. It's like, nigga, niggas used to have to take darts and like go in the wild and kill animals. Like, then skin them shits, then cook them shits. Like, it took like an all-day process to eat, and we be complaining over 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I guess you could say, like, for me, it's just like, it is... learn the blessing of failure because life is really good right now. And when it comes to like just having to do shit like build houses, garden, all this shit that like men had to do in the past, we don't necessarily have to do that. So it's like, bro, you can just, you know, dive deep into whatever you're doing, you know, get with God if you believe in him, you know, if you're rocking with him and figure that shit out, then you put time in and that shit's going to work out for you. So failure builds your character or I'm finding that it's building my character because it humbles your ass for sure. And ultimately, we don't deserve shit, even when you work hard. That don't mean shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Insects work hard. You know what I mean? And we step on them just because they in the way. You know what I mean? Like, that's some shit, bro. You ever just kill a bug just because he around? And I was like, bro, like, that's how easy it could be for us. You know? So, yeah, man.
No, that's facts, man. Like, to a similar point, I was thinking about that because we got a buddy here named Greg who was asking about my work journey and just how I've kind of come along in like my career and stuff like that. And I've always had it, like, heard it growing up that you should have like this 5-year plan figured out, and you should be taking X, Y, Z steps towards like whatever you're trying to do and accomplish. And I didn't really take the traditional college route. I went to like a trade school for like a trade, and then worked that trade until I found I didn't have a passion, a real passion for it. But it was a skill that I knew I could utilize and get into different doors. And ultimately, for my journey, it's just been a matter of just being authentic with people and making good connections and true friendships and just being nice with people, and kind of that sentiment that you never know who will be your boss in the future or a future employer. I forgot how it goes, but that kind of thing. Like, you never know who you'll have to work with in the future type thing. And every job, the last 3 jobs I've had have been off of referrals and connections with people and different stages. So every person has been like a step up from the last as far as their connections and where they've been able to open doors for me. And so as far as like having a 5-year plan, it was just never something you can really account for, because a lot of what we call like success is, I find, based off of luck. And I know there's a lot of people that say that you should, make your own luck or work so hard that you don't depend on luck. But ultimately, it's just a matter of the right time when everything kind of like lines up and the match strikes.
Yeah, I would say to that though, like, and not even in contention with it, just what I've been thinking about lately. Because I was growing up, I was like, I never played the lottery. But now I was like, would I play that shit? Would I scratch some numbers? You know what I mean? Is this really is God really against you doing this shit? I guess I was thinking about, like, I feel like luck it's not the fact that your ticket is drawn. It's the fact that, like, you worked hard enough to have multiple tickets in that bitch to where, like, the probability of them selecting your ticket is greater because of the work that you put in. That's luck. Like, I just happen to have, that nigga just happened to pick my ticket because if 1 inch to the left, even though it was around 8 of mine, he would have picked theirs. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, yo, you got to multiply that shit.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think people have to understand like a balance of just the right time in the right place, and a matter of being at the right place all the time. Eventually it'll be the right place at the right time. That's just all. That's kind of
that
what
was
that
so
is.
personal.
Well, that's how it really was, right? Because my journey was that I was doing audio engineering for church for Hillsong, which we got to talk about that later, but maybe not today. Only because I don't think you guys have seen the documentary yet, right? Yeah. So right. I was doing an audio engineering for Hillsong, and then that opened up the door for me to get at Trinity Broadcast Network, which then opened up the door for me to get to Warner Media, and then that opened up the door for me to go to work for Disney. So it's just a matter of, and every single one of those doors was just a person that I was really friendly with and got along with, and they really liked like me and my attitude, and took a chance on me and trained me how to do the job. Right? I just feel like every job outside of being like a doctor or something you would actually have to go to college for is teachable. And so I've just tried to be somebody that is always willing to learn and humble enough to say that like, hey, like, teach me, you know. So that's one of the lessons I've learned, is that just be teachable and not arrogant on whatever skill set you have prior, because you can always have more.
Yeah, bro, you just brought up something so interesting, and let me know if this is off topic. The teachability thing. I was gonna ask because you know at that moment when like you're in class and you think you know some shit and you raise your hand, you like, yo, like I know this shit, call on me. And you say it confidently and that shit's wrong. It's like you feel so embarrassed, and it's just kind of like, I guess you could say now I find myself negotiating with that tension of I want to know and I want to learn, but I also like at times feel embarrassed for being wrong. Because I feel like when you're wrong, like you either get canceled for some shit, like, yo, you're stupid. You're stupid permanently. Not like you had a stupid moment, but like you just don't know how to work that shit that's going on up here. And it's like, nah, I just fucked up, you know? So I just found that like, yeah, sometimes being wrong is it's embarrassing, but you know, this is part of a failure too, you know? So I guess I just wanted to ask, when it comes to teachability, do you find yourself like maybe sometimes not entertaining questions because of the fact that you might be wrong, even if it comes to like life or whatever sphere, but like, yeah. Do you feel the need to always be right? Maybe that's a better way to ask the question.
I would say I feel that sentiment and different topics where it's assumed that I know a lot about that topic, and then if I come across as dumb in that you know, whatever that is, then I would feel you know what you're describing. I think I always try to play the newbie card as much as possible. So and I usually say like within like the first 3 months of trying something new, you can make all the mistakes and ask all the questions you want. But then after like that, it's like, okay, nigga, you should know something about this fucking job. Like you're 6 months in and you're still asking questions about this when we went over in the first month, something like that. Definitely like one of the strategies that I've been implementing lately is just like, I'm not sure, but I'll look into that, or like I'll find that out by the end of the day or something like that. It's okay to say if you don't know, but it's more important to confirm that you're going to follow up with a solution and a timeline, you know, for having something done. And that seems to get me out of a lot of situations.
Yeah. Shit. Noted.
But yeah, when it comes to being 30, what are some changes you noticed about your body?
I mean, I've had bad knees since I was like 19, but that, you know what I mean? Like, sorry, my 20s were fucked on my knees. That was funny. You know?
I don't know why that was so funny to me.
Because it was like it was a basketball injury
Oh.
that led to like me not rehabbing that correctly, and then it led to my other knee hurting. Then my ankle was like shit just broke down. Because I guess you could say I realized rehab is fucking hard, bro. It's hard in the sense of the discipline for rehab, because it's not like you be in that bitch for an hour and you didn't sweat. You know what I mean? You might not have sweat if you're doing rehab, but it's the sense of like, this isn't helping me look better. This is just giving me back the functionality to then go work hard to look better. It's like the step before. So I would say in the past decade, I was just kind of like, fuck that. You know, it works well enough. You know, if we keep working out, you know, it'll get better. But sometimes, you know, you got inconsistencies. That shit, it don't heal the way that it used to. It don't jump back. But I mean, ultimately, it just comes back to the time thing. You know, having a daughter right now, you know, don't have as much time as you used to. Your time is always, I won't say interrupted, but it is. It's not a bad thing. It's just you gotta be more flexible, and then, you know, sometimes you just gotta negotiate. I found that, you know, I wanted 6 hours of sleep today, but it looks like for this day to go well, I can only get 3. That's some shit, bro. Especially when you work long hours. Like sometimes, like that's what it takes. You plan for something, but it's like when you gotta do margin, it's kind of like, okay, do this need to get done or do I need to sleep? And it's like, I can sleep later. Because I don't want to say you can always catch up, but yeah, I just feel like that's a real ass thing that I'm learning even now. Sometimes it doesn't go according to plan. But you got to plan for that shit.
What does that have to do with your body?
With working out as well.
But I'm saying, do you feel like you've seen any? I feel like you took that question and went so much deeper than what I was.
Everything's deep to me, bro.
I know.
It's all interconnected. It really is.
I just want to know if your testosterone levels are still up at 30. That's all I wanted to know. So you're keeping a high T.
That's all you want to know?
I mean, that's what I was. That's the question I should have asked. That's all.
That's what I was gonna say. You said you went too deep with this. Yeah, I mean, as far as the body wise, bro, like putting the time in was something I wasn't willing to do that I'm learning now is like, yo, you got to warm up, you got to do stretches, then you got to work out. And if you're going to do all of that, you might not need to work out every day. And if you are, do something smaller, because 1 or 2 sets is better than no fucking sets. You know what I mean? Just be consistent and your body will change. It's just.
So you think you can keep up with 25-year-old Joshua?
Oh yeah. Basketball?
I mean,
Or
in
like
any type of whatever athletic, you know, competition you want to do with hypothetical 25-year-old
that nigga
Joshua.
be running around. He'll be running around me, but when I put my hand on his ass, it's gonna be, you know. But actually, wait. Hold on. 25? That's shit. That's 2018. Yeah, no, I was pretty. I had a I would have to be like Pat Beverly. I have to be on some Pat Beverly shit with that nigga. But yeah, I got him. You think you could beat 24-year-old Isaiah?
24-year-old Isaiah? Oh, for sure. For sure. I wasn't really trying to like work out or do anything until like wait. Let's see. Let me do some math. 24, that would have been
2018 I was
18. Oh yeah, I could have given him a run for his money. He wasn't doing shit. Now 2020 Isaiah? No. Not that guy was because in 2020, like during the whole lockdown stuff, I really like got into running and longboarding when I was living in Huntington, and I would run like 5-6 miles a day.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit.
So that's when I was like 180. I got down to like 190 or like 195 kind of, and I was like, yeah, running like every day. So that guy, no, I couldn't keep up with him right now. No way. I could probably beat him in basketball though, because I've been working on like fundamentals and stuff like that. But no, he was actually doing something.
You talking about like a fight to the death?
Oh well.
Because if we doing that shit, then yeah, I got his ass. This is what I'm saying. You don't got to be stronger to know some tricks.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? You can be strong. If I kick you on your fucking knee, you can't fucking walk. It's a wrap for your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting. Probably because now I'm like weight training. He wasn't really weight training back then. I wasn't really weight training back then. So, Yeah, I think I could have got him. He was doing pull-ups though, so I don't know. It was tough. Because back then I could do 10 pull-ups in a row. Like now I say no problem, but like, I could do it. Now it's like I'm on the assistant pull-up thing where you take the weight off, or you add the weight to take the weight off your body. I had to take off like 100 pounds just to get 5. It's bad. But I'm getting there though.
You just got to sneak attack.
Yeah, I gotta.
You sneak attack that nigga, he's gone, bro.
Let's see. But if he's like 185 and I'm at 240 right now, then it's a different weight class. I got him. But yeah, that's something I've been thinking about too. Is like the older I get, the more apparent stretching and warming up becomes. Like I never warmed up when I was like 18 or 17, even into like my mid 20s. When I was like running all that time, and never warmed up. But now it's like I'll get up an extra 30 minutes just to hit some what is it called? Like the eagle stretch where you like put your foot up like this. Also let you guys peek the toes.
That's gonna give the sensory bars.
Hey, I kind of wear these as a badge of honor now, man. These are my basketball toes. No?
Nah.
You know, we talk with Nova, so we've had this conversation. That's why I'm not tripping.
Hey, it
Right
is
now.
what it is, man. My fiance clips my toes. I have no shame about these anymore.
What'd you say?
I said my fiance clips my toenails, so there's no shame in
Shout out
or
to her,
condemnation
bro.
in Christ anymore. But yeah, because I have a hard time finding basketball
What
shoes.
did you just say?
I said there's no shame or condemnation in Christ. I've been set free.
You're right. Hey, you know what?
That'd be the clip. That would be the clip to go viral too. Unfortunately, I'd be known as that guy with the toes.
Ain't that something?
Everyone's gonna start a GoFundMe just to get like a pedicure surgery or something like that. Just get all new toes, bionic toes.
Bluetooth enabled, all that shit.
That'd be clean, man. And they're ashy too. Shoot, that's no excuse. I got no excuse. But anyways, what was I even talking about my toes for? Oh, I was actually talking about stretching, and then my toes is having to take over. That's what it was. Yeah, I'd be hitting like the stretches and all that kind of stuff.
He was talking about, you were talking about basketball.
I was talking
bro.
about stretching. Now I find myself stretching like 30 minutes before I even play, and really like warming up and hitting the back pedals, the ATG stuff.
And dudes be like, that's the old dude.
Yeah.
But all the young dudes who did that, they're the actual athletes. That's just so the dudes who took the time actually like went somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just be laughing. I'm barely 5'9", and I thought like, yo, like I could just hop up, play ball in this, and I'm good. Like sit the fuck down. You don't go stretch.
Yeah, no. So that's what I find in my age too, especially like even when I wake up. As soon as I wake up, I gotta stretch. That's the sad part. I gotta warm up for life. that's what I gotta do, man. Gotta stretch and warm up before I can even start the day.
I think that's something we should always have been doing though. You know what I mean?
Right. I
You just have no choice now.
I just have no choice, exactly. So
You know?
it's funny what's becoming like a requirement for life when I get older.
Necessity.
So I used to really like yoga too, because I was trying to I was on my journey to like do the splits, which I guess I could still be. I'm still in my 20s, so it's a possibility. Maybe. For me, the thing with like physical activity though is that I always come back to like, what's the point? Because I'm gonna die anyway of old age with none of my strength. I'll be like some crippled, helpless, old person. So it's like, why would I bust my ass all that time just to prolong my life to suffer more in the end?
That's how you think you're gonna go out? Damn.
Sometimes I have a pessimistic view. Sometimes like that. It's like, damn, like I'm only making myself healthier so I can live longer to suffer. Like 90 to 100 is nothing but, if I live to be 100, then I really just prolong myself an extra 20 years.
How much is a day worth to you? How much would you say a day is worth?
After 70,
No, like a dollar amount, like right now. What would you say?
the way I can quantify it is that from ages 0 to 60, I'll put it like at the European dollar. But then after 60 to 100, it's like the Mexican peso. It's decline in value, like what a day means to me. I feel like I really don't want to die like super old.
I would say, overall, bro. No, days are fucking priceless. Especially when I consider how I've met some of the people that I know. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I'm just thinking, and this is not me trying to like be sappy or whatever, but like, I think the day that I met you, that was a shitty ass day. It was still shitty after I met you. You know what I mean? But like, I met you, and that was what started. And now we're here. You know what I mean? Like,
to be honest, I could tell he had. Remember that day, Greg? I could tell he had a demeanor that he's like he didn't want to fucking talk to nobody.
But you know what I mean? I guess when I think about it like that, it's just kind of like, yo, you don't know who you would meet during this day. So I guess you can't really put a dollar amount on it when I really think about it.
That's true. What was going on that day?
Marriage.
Have you seen that? Speaking of which, have you seen that episode of Black Mirror? I believe it's in the second season. San Junipero.
What was going on?
Basically, all the elderly people, after like whenever they died, they would upload their consciousness into a server, and that they called San Junipero, and they lived to be. They just stayed in their early 20s, which for them that server was like the 80s or whatever, and so they just lived every day, young in the 80s, but it was just their consciousness.
Shoot, I missed that one.
Well, I feel like I just spoiled it. There you go. But that's not my fault. Like, it's 6 years old, so.
I saw one of those episodes where somebody was trapped in their head.
You only saw one episode of Black Mirror?
No. Oh. I saw a couple of them. I don't know if I could talk about the content in some of the ones that I saw right now.
I mean.
But the one that I think I can talk about is the one where I think it was this swole ass dude, the dude who played Hawkman in Black Adam.
Oh, the two gay
Aldous
niggas.
Hodge is his name, I think.
The two gay niggas that were having sex in the video game.
No.
Oh.
I don't know if it's that episode. Are you talking about Anthony Mackie? Is Anthony Mackie? No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the episode where one of them switched.
That's what you just
They
said.
switched
Hawkman.
mindsets with a teddy bear. And they were living through a teddy bear.
That was not Anthony Mackie.
No, it wasn't. It was Aldous Hodge. Anthony Mackie's Captain America now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some shit, bro.
No, he was in an episode of Black Mirror. I know which episode you're talking about, and basically like they uploaded the consciousness of the mom into the teddy bear, and that got like problematic really quick for like the dad, because I think he's trying to like move on or something like that. And I don't know. I kind of forgot that one, but I know which one you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the video game one from season 4, which was like the worst season because it's only like 3 episodes. And one of them, Anthony Mackie, Captain America, you're able to now like put your consciousness into a video game and play the character in Mortal Kombat. And he picked like some like Chun-Li looking like type character, and his friend picked this other combat character, and then they realized that they didn't just have to fight in the game, and so they were having sex with each other in the show. And then when they came out of the out of the game,
reality.
Yeah, they thought that they were actually like in love with each other or something like that.
Yo, that's thick.
It was interesting. That was the only interesting like episode from that season, but I thought that's what you were talking about. But no, I guess
I saw one where these people were running from these killer motorized
bees.
Not bees.
Oh.
They were like the
the robot dogs.
Yeah.
Metalhead.
Yeah, that one I was like, damn. That was a trippy episode, bro. Shout out to Black Mirror. Shout out to Netflix.
Dude, Black Mirror is killing it. The last season was super good. But yeah, Josh, did you have anything else on aging, getting older?
Yeah, don't shit on older people.
That's true.
You know?
Someone like, you know what's happening to me now on that point? Is that I'm starting to get called OG now when I go to the gym. I'm like, oh fuck. That's actually kind of why I'm getting a haircut on Friday. I was like, shit, dude.
You someone when you're hooping?
Yeah.
You say OG.
Yo, what's up, OG?
Oh,
I'm like, what?
Oh, damn.
No. I'm like, that's crazy.
I feel for you, bro.
I mean,
Even though they don't mean shit, but I know that's a shot to the ego. You feel like, what the fuck did you just say? I'm about to give you buckets now. You know what I mean? That's one of them shits.
Yeah, that was a real wake up call that maybe I should invest in some haircuts more often. Because I'm like, I'm only 28. Like, what do you think I'm an OG to? Even Stevens? Yeah, everybody, let us know what are some lessons you guys learned in your journey of getting older. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And yeah, subscribe to the Lavatory Podcast. You got any final words?
No.